Alright, so, this is one of our tail end build around submissions for this standard season. The build around submission was try to maximize Twilight Prophet, which obviously just playing this as a 2/4 flyer for 4 is not ideal. So my thought process going in for trying to maximize this card was, let's turn on the City's Blessing ASAP. So I've got cards like History of Benalia, which create 3 permanents in 1 card. Tristani, similar. Legion's Landing, 2 permanents in 1 card. These things make tokens after they die, so they leave permanents in play even if you're trading off. This is a free spell or close to free that you can get onto the board to get more things into play ASAP, just to try and hit that ascend. Notably, Venerated Loxodon is sweet with Twilight Prophet too, because not only does it help you get on the board quickly, but it's also a 5 mana spell, so when you flip it to Twilight Prophet, it hits your opponent for a good chunk of damage. Let's go ahead and dive on in here, shall we? Oop, I had to reinstall, so let's toggle all play modes. Yeah, Growth Chamber Guardian plus Loxodon is a little bit of synergy too, because Growth Chamber Guardian triggers to find a friend when he gets a counter from anywhere. So if you convoke onto Growth Chamber Guardian, you go find more Growth Chamber Guardians, which gets you more permanents. The Incubation Druids in here might seem a little bit out of place, but I've included those because we're kind of splashing a black card into a green-white token shell, so Incubation Druid helps us hit that second black source consistently so we can cast our spells when we draw them. Zand's great. Needs another black source, but we got a couple of turns to draw that. Just like we drew it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it. And this will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is actually, I actually have 10 permanents in, I actually will have 10 permanents in play on turn 4 when we cast this. Good morning, Holy Flab. Are you sure this strategy is profitable? Darn it. Little Abzan hero action on the other side of the board here. I assume they're going to pass here. If they offer this trade, I'm going to take it. And I mean, like, this is kind of showing what we wanted to do, right? Like, if they don't kill any of my stuff here, I get to play this Twilight Prophet and, like, ascend on. He actually just hit the City's Blessing on 4. So, they could have a removal spell here. They do not. That's good for us. That is a really big Huatli. I think we're in trouble, fam. If any other creature dies, I lose 1. Yikes. And this thing's gonna ult here next turn. I think we're dead. Yeah, like, had to shock for 8 this game. I think I have to force this to not ult and force this poison tip off the table. Yeah, the reach on the archer is really good because I have to offer this trade here now. Oh, they didn't take it. Okay. Deal. So I keeping Huatli from ulting this turn. Hopefully we can hit a Mortify to kill this Poison Tip Archer, then maybe we have a shot. I did a quick cursory search for other Ascend payoffs, and I didn't see any. They have a Finality here. Yikes. Are we dead? I think we're dead. Wow. Woof. Woof. I forgot to disable emotes. Got it. Cast down sounds great. Mortify sounds good. And trim the Incubation Druid, just be a little bit more interactive. I don't think I want Moment here. Yeah, their deck, both of our decks went off, and their deck went off way harder than ours. We did our thing, but we weren't able to interact with their thing, and their linear was better than our linear. That sounds fine. 1, 2, 3. Notably needs another black source at some point, potentially. That is arguably the worst draw in our deck. Just because not only is it a land that we don't want, but it's not the second black source. Sultai Control is the last deck we played. We got to Mythic this season for the first time, playing 100% viewer submitted ideas. Like a strong white aggro draw, basically, this game. Yeah, the plan for Planeswalkers is just attack them. I unfortunately do not have an Unbreakable Formation style Anthem effect in here. Growth Chamber Guardian gives us something really nice to do with our mana, though, here. Alright, who's got 2 thumbs and concedes to settle the wreckage? No one, because I've got Tithe Taker. They can't activate a Danto either because of Tithe Taker. I wonder if they were expecting to activate a Danto here and forgot about the Tithe Taker. There's only one basic in my deck. He's in play. Fart this right away, so that way... This is the part where they finality me. We're actually not the worst through a finality here. Because we leave 3 power behind and we like have another Growth Chamber Guardian. I wonder if this is a Tendershoot Dryad matchup. I guess they have plenty of... This is not great against spot removal, so probably not. I think I'm happy with how I boarded here. I could maybe see bringing in Moment on the draw, just because they do have Amara and Hero, which can run away with games on the draw. Do I want these extra removal spells for killing their 2-drops on the draw? I kind of feel like I do. I'm gonna trim a Mortify and something else here. Maybe an extra elephant. I get that Elefante was good there. I'm gonna trim a Tithe Taker. Maybe I'm supposed to trim Elefante. Multiple Elefantes can definitely gum up. Seems like okay. No double white kind of sucks. Doesn't have removal either. I'm gonna take infinite damage from my lands. Have I talked myself out of this? I might have talked myself out of this. I'm gonna do 6 to myself. But I get to go 1-drop, 2-drop, 2-drop, 1-drop. Which is like pretty appealing. No removal and damage from my lands has me borderline here. No second white as well. Oh. Yeah, the Sultai control deck we played the other day felt really good. I don't think it was by mistake that we ended up getting into Mythic with it. I made some pretty big mistakes in the games that we played, and the deck pretty solidly pulled us through. Just like, it's playing a collection of like pretty good cards in a unique combination. Alright, no more lands, please. Frilled Mystic is just a sweet Magic card, I agree. I would love to draw a 3 or a 4-drop next turn. Even a 2-drop, just something I can cast before Tristani. I mean, cornfield time today. What's going on, Big Kitty? Thanks for the 26 months. Welcome back. Yay, Magic. Wow. Frilled Mystic is an excellent foil, too. I'm going to block this one of these. And I'm going to go ahead and attack on the backswing with my 3/2/2s, because I'd like to flip my Legion's Landing. Oh, that's not good for me. This doubles up their Poison Tip Archer. But I definitely want to get a Danto flipped over here. So I'm going to gain 6, lose 4. Lose 6? No, I'm actually going to lose 6, right? Yeah, I can't play around to Finality. Definitely don't have the cards to do that. Drew a whole lot of lands, not a lot of removal spells. Because the Resolve All button's been bugged at various points. I think I just do this and hope not to get blown out. If they have a removal spell, we're just dead. I don't know. There's a whole lot we could do there. We didn't really have any cards that let us make relevant decision points. So, like, the opponent's deck is one of those decks where they're a really heavy synergy deck, but if we just, like, have a piece of spot removal, of which we have like, you know, 6 or 7 pieces of or whatever. Like the opponent's deck is just like a bunch of like individually weak cards. So the reason why decks like that haven't been successful in this format is because there's enough interaction in most of the good decks that if you see your average amount of it's not even just Esper control, just like any deck, any good deck in this format has a half a dozen or more pieces of removal in it, and like expecting to see 1 piece of removal or 2 in your games takes the deck and turns it from this okay pile of cards to like this embarrassing pile of Magic the Gathering cards. We'd really like to draw a shock land, yeah. Thankfully I have double 1-drop here, so like I'm gonna get to do this into this next turn. It's a little unfortunate that we're having the slow start in the draw against red though. I did accept a build around for a card that doesn't have a foil. It's sad. That's true. The art on the actual card itself is excellent. It's a shame this doesn't have a full art, right? I bet like the tail of the Twilight Prophet would like shimmer and stuff and be awesome. I think we're probably dead here. Kept kind of a slow start on the draw. They're mono red, and we've not drawn a 3rd land yet. We like the spells we have in our hand aren't very good against what our opponent has going on at the moment. And I need to draw lands, so like my hand needs to draw lands and spells to win. The sub started with Jeff giving as usual. I subbed to everyone I watch more than Netflix and me thinking that's fair. 13 months later, I've canceled my Netflix by now. Thank you for the 13 months of support, Hickahuck. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. Mad Mo, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to play this just to try and get ahead on mana. I think there's a good chance whatever 2-drop I cast here dies, so might as well be this one. When will I play Esper? Omnimill. I play each deck for 60 to 90 minutes, and we started playing this deck about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. So probably 2 to 3 hours or so. I'm going to cash this in as a game 3. As a game 4, because they had the instant, so that's nice. Legion Tithe Taker's not terrible. Tithe Taker's a card that trades with the G2 Lava Runner, and it leaves something meaningful behind, even if they have a something else going on. If we can dodge Experimental Frenzy here, we'll be able to dodge a ball pretty well. Need to dodge explicitly Frenzy and Goblin Chain Whirler at this point. If we can do that, we might be able to claw our way back into this game. Why does it have great synergy with Prophet? Can you explain? I don't see the great synergy with Prophet access. Oh, so when you flip it to Prophet's trigger. Got you. Alright, if they keep missing on their payoffs here, and we hit like another land and get Growth Chamber Guardians popping off here. I might be wrong to be aggressively trading off here with Prophet in play, but it's another land. Okay, so they do this. Maybe I'm just supposed to play and fart this. I don't know. This hits my blessing for the Twilight Prophet, which is appealing. Puppy! All right. Yeah. All right. Sweet. That game was a little bit hairy there for a second, but we were able to fade. The Chain Whirler and the what's it called, like we talked about, ended up working out for us pretty okay. Loxodon seems not great here. You really don't want to be tapping out when you're playing defense. Incubation Druid, just the other trim again, probably. Alright, let's do it. This hand is all tapped lands again, but, like, the spells are really good, so I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna be playing, like, I'm basically going third this game, but I think the spells are good enough that is worth keeping. And if we, like, rip a shock land, it's just, like, absurd. So we get to do this, into Hunted Witness this, into this cast down. Hunted Witness is so good in this matchup. It's not an untapped land, but it is a second black source for Twilight Prophet down the line. And now I'm playing a turn behind, but I'm going to cast a spell every turn for the rest of this game now, for the foreseeable future at the very least. They have a Chain Whirler here. They have a Chain Whirler. I'm going to 13 this turn. Yep. I've got Mortifies to cover an Experimental Frenzy. We're going to stabilize at a relatively high life total. High-ish. I'd love to draw a 1-drop this turn so I can Mortify plus play another spell. Tithe Taker. I think I'm supposed to just Mortify this turn. Post-board, Twilight Prophet's a lot less guaranteed to stabilize the board just because they're likely bringing in lava coils, not only for our prophets, but like our growth chambers and our afterlife creatures. I think the odds of this getting to block are low post-board. Am I dead? I could be dead. Yep. So we were dead regardless there. Little bit too slow on the draw this time. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. Just gonna go ahead and run it back. Hopefully I have a more reasonable hand here on the play. Honestly, that hand on the play probably would have been fine. The fact that we were on the draw with all the tap lands. Like I said, when we started that game, I was like, we're basically going third, which is bad against the mono red deck, obviously. Yeah, we've played decks like that in the past ad nauseum. And like at the end of the day, that is probably still just worse than probably still just worse than playing the known Team of Reclamation deck that's very good, right? This hand might not play much Magic. I've got 3 guaranteed spells that are like kind of okay though. And if I hit the black source, this hand is very good. And I feel like I don't need to hit the black till like turn 4. Like even if I draw a non-black land, this hand is still very reasonable. We'll lead on Tithe Taker obviously, because I would like to fart Growth Chamber Guardian. Yep. So it's better than missing, but not as good as a black duel would be. I think I'm gonna block to prevent them from playing spectacle cards this turn, which is aggressive. That's really unfortunate. So running lands that aren't black is rough. Yeah, that deck's probably super reasonable against Reclamation decks. They have a Chain Whirler here. Super happy to trade this like, it's not even 2 for 1, right? Because it's like half a history. Black source, please. Black source, please. And they didn't have a shock to get rid of my knight last turn, so this might live. Just like, kind of an okay green-white tokens draw so far. Next turn, we'll hit the attack with all button and get this Legion's Landing flipped. Really in this game for a bold to 5? Yeah, in a way. In a way, we did mulligan to 5. Another Lava Coil. Yep. And then, like, killing the Tristani does mean this Gitu gets to keep the board in check here. Until it doesn't. I'm hungry. Gobble, gobble. Alright, sweet. And, like, Frenzy is their comeback card from a position like this, and I've got Mortify to hip check that. Chain Whirler would make us less than pleased, but in a pretty good spot here. Fire Hungry too, Ashiok. Thank you for the 18 months of support. I appreciate the year and a half. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Okay. These are a couple of tutus here. I think I'm supposed to be aggressive with this Mortify, huh? This does make Frenzy a much better draw for them. And like, if they hit Chain Whirler, they catch back up in a big way here, but if they hit another brick, I kill them in 2 by doing this. Is there any reason to play this land out? Yeah, probably. Yeah, playing the land out means if I draw Twilight Prophet, I can profit plus activate First Fort. Don't whirler me. Alright, those aren't Chain Whirlers. They do keep them alive, however. Alright, they're out of cards. This makes a flying token, which is not irrelevant. Oh, this is really good. They get to block and then shoot this. Oh! Oh, I punted. If I would have played this pre-combat, they wouldn't have been able to absorb the 1 extra damage there. Because this would make the Firebrand cost 1. It's a big mistake on my part. Yeah, should have played the Tithe Taker pre-combat. They'd be at 2 right now, which is super relevant. I assume we're gonna see them. They'd be dead, right? They'd be dead, but they wouldn't be able to take this line. You're not wrong. It's potentially not a game-losing mistake, but it leaves us, it would have left them in a much worse spot. So good to point out. It's a good draw, because it lets me win the game through Goblin Chain Whirler next turn. So it makes a flying token. We're doing okay, okay? I wouldn't be surprised if our red matchup's very reasonable. How are we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for dropping by here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you enjoy Standard, Best of 3 constructed with sideboards, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a ton of different decks here, and we change decks every 60 to 90 minutes. You get a lot of variety. As always, I'd like to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to plug a couple of my sponsors here really quick. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles using promo code Jeff5. You can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of artwork that they already have on their website. Cardshare.com would love to help you turn your cards into other cards directed to the players. There's no haggling, and they just take 1% fee off the top. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now, and I appreciate all of y'all choosing to spend part of your day here with us. Remember, if you are new, just stopping in for the first time and you enjoy what you see, make sure to hit that follow button. It lets you know when I go live and with what. I'm usually here Monday through Friday. I start about 8 a.m. in the morning and I go till about 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Central Standard Cornfield time. Yeah, of course we're Mythic. We only play the very best viewer-submitted deck lists on this stream. Easy Mythic, no problem. This hand needs some lands in it, but if it hits a green source, it's like really reasonable. Never didn't have it. We'd really like to draw a 1-drop next turn so we can play Venerated Lux. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. No, you both win and lose 2 at a time in best of 3. Trigger my Growth Chamber Guardian. And then flipping Legion's Landing actually lets me play Twilight Prophet next turn, which is awesome. They have a Ritualist set. Hostage Taker, yep. Yeah, Growth Chamber Guardian was an excellent addition for sure. Ooh, they're scared. I was just attacking because I wanted to get this going. And then next turn, Legion's Landing lets us hit the City's Blessing. In silver and below, you win 2, lose 1. Interesting. Wow, that's a play. Okay. So I have... So if I play this, it gives me the city's blessing. And then if I throw these away, it lets me flip this and play another Twilight Prophet. Garrick, Predator of Scrubs, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. We're pretty dead to finality here, but don't play around things you can't beat. So, put my other Prophet on the table, hope for the best. My gut instinct would be that green-white tokens is not great against Esper control and Reclamation decks, but I don't know that with certainty. I think I just mortified the Elephant and cracked them for 5. I'm already ascended. You keep the city's blessing. We drew the Legion's Landing off the Twilight Prophet this turn. I think I like Mortify, crack them for 5. Play Legion's Landing. It is a little bit hidden there. If they don't have another removal spell for this other Twilight Prophet, we could burn them out. Rats. They're still kind of low here. I think I just attack with everything here. If they wanna eat my 1/1, they want to eat my 1/1, they take 4. If they have another removal spell here, I'm a little bit sad about this attack. Alright, so they're at 2. Oh, you know what? I could have Frilled Mystic in their deck. Interesting. That's all right. I guess they did cast Growth Spiral earlier, huh? Is there a little bit more controlling version? Yeah, weird. Request to change deck name to Profitable Tokens. Oh, that's a pretty good one. Well. I have another Frilled Mystic here. Do I just let this happen and then play Twilight Prophet? Or do I get another Growth Chamber Guardian? Feels close. I could, like, get a Guardian, play Tithe Taker. The problem is, like, there's no guarantee the Prophet lives. Is the issue. I mean, they have a Chemist's Insight and a Draw Step and 2 cards in their hand. think I'm supposed to go get a friend. The problem is, like, they gave me the option to do this, so that says, like, they want me to do this. So, like, doing this is playing towards a little bit longer game, and you could definitely argue we're just not in a position to be able to play to a longer game. The flip side is, if I draw land next turn, I get to Growth Chamber plus Twilight Prophet. Well, I don't know. There's the flip side of, like, do I guaranteed win going long Namachill as well? Because, like, they're a Hydroid Crisis deck, right? It's like I have no, there's no guarantees that I win by playing conservatively. I don't know. I think with the Crisis this turn, we're probably 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other, screwed either way. But worth talking about for sure. Mortify, please. Mortify, please. Oh, that's not good. That means they've got more removal or interaction. Well, remember that time they were at 2? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Yeah, we're pretty done here. Vivien sounds great. Tendershoot Dryad sounds great. I actually don't think Duress is very good here. Like, they have, like, Frilled Mystic and stuff. So, like, that makes Duress a lot less appealing. We did spend a lot of time at 1. You're not wrong. I'm going to trim Incubation Druid again because it gets cleaned up in spot removal sweepers. Mortify is probably just worse than Cast Down in this matchup, right? They didn't have any legendary things. They didn't have any enchantments. I'm going to trim a copy of Venerated Loxodon here. This seems fine. I'm not excited to put that land on top of my deck, but I think it's better than missing. Wax Papers, thanks for 13 months. Welcome back. We're kind of won the die, or kind of going second this game with our tapped lands, but it is what it is. War comes to Arena for everyone next Thursday. Wizard of the Coast is doing a early access event for streamers, I think Tuesday into Wednesday. I don't know the exact timing on that because it's not something that I take part in. No, it's really not, Gendy. If you want, I would encourage you. It sounds like you probably came in a little bit late and missed our matchup against, what was the deck we were playing against? Specifically the token, or the mono red deck. Like, the second body is super relevant, especially in this deck where we're trying to hit the Ascend for this. Having an extra body means that even when this dies or trumps in combat, it leaves another body behind, making it easier to get to that Ascend. They have Cast Down into Untap Ritual. We're probably done for. That gives us a 5th land to play and activate Growth Chamber Guardian, which is nice. So this is, I was gonna say this is obviously a Frilled Mystic turn, but I guess not. This is a Chemist's Insight turn. I would like to phone a friend. This notably puts my opponent to 7, which means they no longer are dead on board. Awesome, Gindy. In a dream, I spent 40k in subs to you and you freaked out. I mean, to be fair, 40k in subs sounds pretty freak out worthy. So I've waited to activate this Growth Chamber Guardian, playing around a 2-mana removal spell the entire time. Because if they kill this, I don't get to find a friend. And this way, when they do this, they still get to kill it ultimately, but I end up with a friend in my hand. And then unfortunately, because they had the blocker with the Moment of Craving, they still get to kill my dork, but ended up with another crab person, so let's go. Oh, I tapped my lands wrong here. If they Frilled Mystic this, I wouldn't be able to Legion's Landing and History of Benalia. Should have left triple white up. Small mistake. So, I'm risking it a little bit here because their last card could be a 2-mana piece of removal, but I really just want to get my resource efficiency in here so that way I can play out more cards next turn. I've been being conservative so far, but I think they're getting to a point where I need to start pressuring their mana and adding more to the board ASAP. I think all Magic data is extremely flawed to the point where you shouldn't use any of it to draw meaningful statistical conclusions about anything. If I'd adapted before attacking last turn, I would have just kept my guy. No, likely if I had done that before attacking last turn, what would have happened is they likely would have just waited for me to, they would have let it adapt and then let me attack in the Moment of Craving before blockers. So that's worth discussing. So I didn't play the Growth Chamber Guardian to put a counter on from the Venerated Loxodon because once this has a counter on it, I can no longer adapt it. And I would like to adapt this into a 4/4 so it can attack through this 3/4 next turn. It does get punished by my opponent having Cry of the Canarium here, though. I think it's correct to make the play that I did, though. Might get on the scoreboard here. Might get on the scoreboard here. Get to the old game 3. Yeah, putting the land in first is one of those. It's technically strictly optimal, but in the reality of things, does it really matter? So why stop and talk about it? All right, so the fact that they have Cry in their deck kind of makes me want to put another Loxodon back in and like trim this Hunted Witness. Does that seem reasonable? I kind of want to go down another Hunted Witness even and like put in another Mortify. Just like Hostage Taker's real annoying. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go down on this card because it's really bad against Cry. Yeah, it was similar to White Weenie. This deck has a lot of parallels to both White Weenie and Green White tokens. I called it Profit tokens. This deck is basically Green White token splash Profit. I think this is okay. I'm gonna like do this on 1, this on 2. They're gonna cast Cry on 3, and then I'm gonna appropriately Cry, but I think it's keepable. You want to install what's called Wine Staging, Zach, and then you just run it like a normal application. You just like run the MTGA installer. The nice thing about having Dub's Growth Chamber here is when they kill the first one and they're inclined to kill the first one so it can't fart and find a friend, we have another one that can go find friends. The Reddit link is specifically for OS X because OS X is more difficult to make wine applications run on than Linux. On Linux we have package managers. Drawing the third one kind of sucks here. Means less card advantage in the long run. I elected not to play a spell this turn because I really didn't want to run into Frilled Mystic. Unfortunately, they have Chemist's Insight here, which means like they're able to use all their mana anyways. I think it's like okay. Yeah, the opponent's deck doesn't seem that dissimilar from the Reclamation build we played on stream, which felt okay. I'm leading on Tithe Taker here rather than Growth Chamber Guardian, because Tithe Taker can't attack through Frilled Mystic, whereas Growth Chamber Guardian can. Tapping out here leaves us a little bit susceptible to Hostage Taker, but I feel like I just need to get the pressure into play or I'm not going to be able to win this game. Yeah, drawing the Taker to allow us to double spell is definitely good. I assume if they don't have a removal spell here, we're going to see them jumpstart the Chemist's Insight. You're out of friends. As an interesting theory question, I wonder what the optimal number of Growth Chamber Guardians to run in your deck would be if you were able to run any number of Growth Chamber Guardians. It's probably like somewhere in the range of 8, if I had to venture a guess. It's probably, my gut says somewhere in like the 7 to 10 range, 8 to 10, somewhere in there. All right, so we got Twilight Prophets here, but unfortunately we're pretty far off of hitting the City's Blessing this game. It is a 2/4 flyer for 4, I guess, though. Worth noting how much worse this card is here than Seraph of the Scales, though, right? We're still one card off. So they need a removal spell or they're dead. They get 2 more shots here. If they hit the removal spell, we probably lose. Because this ooze closes so quickly. Yep. Gosh, we were so close in games 1 and 3 here. If we'd have just hit one of our removal spells here, we probably could have been okay. They would have had to have a bunch of draws. They don't have any sweepers that kill Twilight Prophet either. So now I'm pretty sure we're done. I guess I guess if History of Benalia, one of our double permanent things. So I can hit them to 1, and then am I dead on board? I go block here, take 4, 10, 12. I guess if they brick and I draw a removal spell next turn for their Twilight Prophet, I'm okay. So this gives me a chance to draw removal this turn. The turn where you cast down before attacking is what killed us this game. I completely disagree with you. Can you please explain why you feel that turn was wrong? We were really close there. So needed a removal spell at the end. It's kind of funny. We keep like playing someone who's in high Mythic, winning, and then like playing someone who's like 91, 92% and losing. So you're saying if my opponent makes a bad decision after I shock in the land, so you're assuming the play my opponent's going to make with no knowledge of what they're actually going to do, TK? What if that turn, instead of me playing the cast down to make them play the Frilled Mystic, what if I attack with both my things, and then I go to activate my thing and they kill it in response, because they now have mana up to do something else? So, playing with perfect information and making my opponent make a bad play, yeah, we probably win the game if we have perfect information and make our opponent make a bad play. But, like, there's no guarantee my opponent has a second Frilled Mystic there. In fact, they're more likely to have a removal spell than they are to have a second Frilled Mystic. And by killing their thing pre-combat, I get to get in more damage and close the game out very quickly. So you're right, my play ended up not being good against a second Frilled Mystic, but like, you don't want to look back on plays that you made with the, well, I know what happens here, so I should play around because I knew what would happen. You want to talk about what are they likely to have and what are the permutations and which things can I play around, which things are worth playing around. Yeah, good games, Conspiracy. Really close games 1 and 3. There's a removal spell short there at the end. Hey, thanks for the biddies, Hostage. Hope you have a good Thursday. I assume I'm losing History of Benalia here against a control deck. like, what's your definition of a 2-for-1 seems like crap here. How is them trading 2 creatures for my creature that didn't cost me a card a 2-for-1? By the definition of a 2-for-1, it wasn't a 2-for-1. And I agree with you that that turn didn't go well for me, but again, you're making a decision with hindsight information. You're saying that turn went badly for me, and I agree. What I'm discussing is that, did I still make the correct play with the information that I had? Because that's what I care about. Saying, looking back on the turn and going, oh, I made the wrong play because I got blown out, that doesn't make me a better Magic player. What makes me a better Magic player is looking back and going, oh, these are the permutations of things that could happen here. What am I supposed to do with the information that I had? You have yet to make an argument or create a discussion about why it's correct to do what you are suggesting with the information we had available to us, which is the way you want to come at it. You don't want to look at the decision and go, oh, I know this is going to happen, so I should do this. Correct. Yeah, you can look at that turn and say, man, that turn really sucked for us, but saying we messed up that turn and that's why we lost the game because we made a mistake is, I think, an incorrect takeaway from what's going on there. Those are the kind of mindsets you need to get through and get out of, is being able to disconnect from the, oh, that sucked, but it was still the right play to give us the best chance to win the game. I'm gonna hold on to this still. I've still got a decent amount. It wasn't even really a turning point because we were in like an okay spot after that. Like even down to the end of the game, right? It was still incredibly close. I think I want to wait till I have a 5th land since this is my last resource. That's actually really good against us because it's got first strike. I do lose the Growth Chamber Guardian to a discard spell, but I think they're more likely to have a removal spell than a discard spell. Yeah, I think that hand could have gone better for us, but the way that turn ended up playing out that we're talking about, I think was fine. Like, I agree, we could have had a blown out and, like, ended the game there, which is why I went for it, because I felt like if they didn't have the Frilled Mystic, the game was over there. Why does some number of March of Multitudes help this deck? What problem does my deck have that's being solved by adding March of the Multitudes, Cranky? So the problem with waiting on this, so activating this right away means that this copy is exposed to a Thought Erasure in my hand. Waiting to activate it means that they kill it in response. I never get this to begin with. And my opponent's deck is far more likely to have a removal spell to kill this than they are to have a discard spell to take this out of my hand. Yeah, if my opponent hadn't been tapped out the previous turn, I wouldn't have, like right here, they weren't tapped out, so I'm not activating this right away. In fact, I'm not even going to activate this at the end of their turn, because I have 6 mana in play. Next turn, I can activate this, they kill it in response, I can activate it again and still go find a friend. Hindsight is not the brightest crayon in the toolbox. Yeah, I think that's how the saying goes. Yeah, first strike is busted, chat. Can we please nerf first strike? Feel like it's a little imbalanced. I'm starting to get the feeling that sub-chat sells. Like, I subbed to chat against today. This is not a complaint, but an observation. Yeah, I think putting the chat in sub-only pushed a lot of people who are really close to subbing because they watch a lot of my content over the edge. It's funny, between the sub-only chat and, like, the part of the season that we're in, all my viewer numbers are down, like my average viewer count, but my actual sub count is up, which I assume is related to making the chat sub-only. I'm doing this during my upkeep, so that way I don't have a chance to draw. I have a less chance to draw. So again, exactly like I talked about, I didn't do this on the end of their turn because I wanted to be able to find a friend. And then I activated it, they killed it in response, I activated it again, we found a friend. Hindsight might not keep me subbing, but it's a good choice with the information given. What's going on, Griffin Bruce? Welcome back. Singamer, thanks for the 3 months. Thanks for keeping me around. Excuse me, keeping me around. First strike is OP. Let's not get started on... Wow, that's savage. Yikes. Yikes. All right, that's a good one. Deal. Deal-orino. Ain't nobody got time to wait around anymore. Mr. Lifeguard checking in for the 15th month. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks back this way again. I appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me employed here. In before cry. I mean, if they cry, it takes the Dire Fleet out of place. It's like, whatever. Well, I appreciate the support, Hostage. The Phoenix is really good for them here. That means they're going to be able to give me 4 damage love taps in the air here, while the 2-1 continues to hold down the fort. I wonder if this is going to take one of my Hunted Witnesses.
No fire, no...
Bezo bucks. Thank you, Mr. Lifeguard. Okay. I mean, that could help us turn the corner. Bomber Dan, love your content and your face. Keep on, keep it on. Thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub, and thanks for the 3rd month. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I love your face. Do you watch DeFranco? That's something he says. Oh, that attack puts me dead on board. I should stop and count. Alright, do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? I punted. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I have no cards in hand. They found the line. After the 45-second take, they found the dead on board line. They're like almost certainly a Cry of the Canarium deck, right? Almost assuredly. Do I want Kaya to deal with... Be Rich, thanks for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Maybe I'd rather just have Duress. It could also be that, like, trimming these Hunted Witnesses is cutting too many things for Venerated Loxodon. I'm going to leave 2 of these in, even if they do suck against crime. I think Duress is better reserved for things like Esper Control and Nexus, things that have counterspells in them that I can take. My opponent's deck might have some counterspells, they're probably fewer and further between. Of course you can get Hoaglandia playmats. There's a whole bunch of different merch stuff listed on my website. I got shirts, pins, stickers, tokens, playmats. No, so that's actually a good discussion point here, Paula. So, 1, just because you often board a card out doesn't mean it's bad in your main deck. And Druid, generally speaking, when you have a card that you're often boarding out, it tends to be a card that like helps your linear or proactive game plan, and then post board you pull that card out to slow your game plan down a little bit to add more specific answers for whatever matchup that you're playing. So for instance, against aggro, Druid comes out for more removal. Against control, it can come in for things like Duress and stuff like that. So the Druid, I don't think is a bad card to be playing, even if we're often boarding it out. We've also played against a lot of decks that have a bunch of sweepers in them today, which Druid is really not great against sweeper effects. Here on the stream, Jeff doesn't freak out. He chats with the stream and looks for good lines, but sometimes he punts. I don't know. I feel like I was on board there for a little bit, Mana Symbol, but I missed a beat towards the middle of the end. It could have been me. Maybe your lyrics were good. Yikes. Things are going well. Eggs are good. Life is great. This deck's been okay. We've been winning. I think we've been batting about 500. I think we started at... I can't remember if we started at 99% or if we started at 8 or 900. I think we might have started at 8 or 900. I think we're like 2-2 currently. It's kind of like the deal breaker for a 3-2 versus a 2-3. So if they trade with this, I then have a flying blocker to block the Thief of Sanity, which is nice. Yep, the hey you can't chat is a good reminder to resend the Twitch Prime for sure. If we run some lands off here, Tristani can undo some of what Thief of Sanity's done. Really hoping it to they might let us untap with this Growth Chamber Guardian because we've been missing lands, and then we get to windmill the Loxodon to find a friend, which would be great. Rats. How much are build rounds? Standard build rounds are $25. Standard deck submissions are $10. And deck submissions are open for cards with war in them, since basically the entire set's spoiled, and the last 10 to 15 will be up tomorrow. So, if you've got sweet ideas you'd like to see up on the stream, feel free to get them submitted sooner rather than later. Remember, your decks collect a point in the queue for every day they wait, so getting them in sooner means they'll earn a little bit extra while they wait. Obviously, we can't play decks with war cards until next week. I think I'm just gonna stack elephants here. I think that's the plan. Might just die in the air, though. Well, for all of you fiery heaps of garbage lovers out there, when a set is new, it's harder to predict which decks are going to be fiery piles of garbage. So you're more likely to sneak in a fiery pile of poop while oh, are they about to cast Cry? They're about to cast Cry, aren't they? That's what this attack means. This attack means Cry of the Canarium. Because now it kills my elephant. I think I still have to block there. I'm just too far behind. Do I watch Jeff or read the Mueller report? I don't have time for both. I mean, how much is blacked out? How do I increase my sub to tier 2? When you are on your desktop computer, you can increase your sub to tier 2 by clicking on the subscribe button. There's an upgrade option. I don't want to get angry today. Yeah, it's probably a good takeaway. We did find the answer to Thief. Yeah, I don't know. All things considered, this felt okay. I felt like the matches that we lost, it felt like the games were close or we stumbled. Like the Sultai control deck we lost to, games 1 and 3 were just like razor thin. Games 1 and 3, super close to closing it out. And then that last match there, we just like didn't have lands in the third game. That's just part of Magic sometimes. I felt one of the things my takeaway from, I always like to talk about the cards that we built, whether they felt good or not. I felt like this deck accomplished its goal of enabling Twilight Prophet well. Between the Histories and the Legion's Landing and the Tristani Discordance, I really felt like we were doing what I set out to do, which was turn on Twilight Prophet. That being said, this card is a lightning rod of sorts, so, you know, it did die a lot. We talked about Incubation Druid being good and bad, and otherwise we did board it out a lot. One of the things that I might want to, and again, this talks about addressing problems that we had, is that Twilight Prophet dies a lot because it's a lightning rod. So maybe working in Find Finality could work. Like maybe we cut these copies of Incubation Druid and we add a Memorial to Folly and a couple copies of Find, because both of these cards serve to pick this back up. Find Finality also has a converted mana cost of 8, so if you're lucky enough to flip it to your Ascended Twilight Prophet, you drain them for 8, which is great. Alright, what are we doing? Esper Duplicate up next. Would Shalai have a place? The problem with Shalai is just something's gotta go, right? So I'm not